There was a time when you didn't just listen to rock and roll. You felt it. In your chest. In the car. At a show where the whole floor was shaking. 20 photos today from that time. The people who made it. The moments that didn't make the history books. Let's go back. This was the last concert Cream ever played. Royal Albert Hall, London, November 1968. Baker, Bruce, and Clapton had been fighting for most of the year. The kind of fighting that happens when three genuinely brilliant people are locked in a room together too long. They decided to end it while they still could. That night they played like they meant every note. The audience didn't want to let them go. Clapton cried backstage. That was it. Led Zeppelin at the Chateau Marmont in Los Angeles, 1969. They'd been a band for less than a year. The first album had just come out, and they were still figuring out what was happening to them. Page, Plant, Jones, and Bonham. 4 guys hanging out a window of a hotel that rock and roll would fill with stories for the next 50 years. They look like they're having the time of their lives, because they were. Jim Morrison in his Shelby Mustang, somewhere in California, 1969. Just driving. No stage, no crowd, no persona. Just a guy in a car with the windows down and the hills going by. Morrison loved that car the way people love things that make them feel free. There's a photo later in this set that connects to this kind of quiet. Hold on to that. 1983. Vaughn had just played the Montreux Jazz Festival, got booed off the stage by an audience that didn't know what to make of him. David Bowie saw that performance and immediately called to ask Vaughn to play on Let's Dance. The album went to number 1. The crowd at Montreux had been completely wrong. Vaughn knew it before they did. 3 members of Pink Floyd on a street in France, 1972, with their families. Kids on shoulders, wives laughing, someone's filming. Dark Side of the Moon hadn't come out yet. They were still just a band with a following, not a phenomenon. This is what it looked like before everything changed. Just people. Just a Tuesday. Did you ever catch a band right before that moment? I did. I always wonder if they knew. Freddie Mercury and Elton John in 1981. 2 of the most gifted performers of their generation. 2 people who understood better than almost anyone what it cost to be that exposed on stage every night. Elton said later that Mercury was the only person he knew who truly understood what the other was carrying. That's a friendship worth something. This was Chuck Berry's 60th birthday concert in 1986. The promoters brought in a band that included Keith Richards and Neil Young. Berry had a reputation for being difficult with backing musicians. He'd been burned too many times. But that night, Richards just played. Didn't try to lead, didn't try to show off. Just played what Berry needed. Young said afterward it was one of the most educational nights of his career. Berry was on the floor and still running the room. Angus Young, 1976, playing like his life depended on it in front of 200 people. 4 years later, stadiums. David Bowie in London, 1979, with his Scottish Terrier. This was right after the Berlin period, after Low, Heroes, Lodger. 3 of the most critically respected albums of his career, none of which sold particularly well at the time. I've always wondered what Bowie actually thought about that, whether he knew he'd made something that would outlast everything else. I honestly still don't know. Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne, 1982. This was the year Sharon took over managing Ozzy's career after Black Sabbath fired him. She bet everything on him at a moment when almost nobody else would. Ozzy said later that without Sharon, there would have been no solo career, no second act, nothing. That's not a manager. That's something else entirely. Halfway through, the next 10 get a little quieter, but they hit just as hard. And here's the quiet that connects back to that Morrison photo. The version of these people that nobody was supposed to see. Debbie Harry and Chris Stein at home in 1980. Heart of Glass had just gone to #1, and here they are, reading, doing nothing, being two people who live together. That's the whole story right there. Jefferson Airplane in 1966. The year before Surrealistic Pillow, and the year before everything. Nobody in this photo had any idea what was about to happen to San Francisco, to them, to all of it. John Paul Jones was one of the most in-demand session musicians in London before Led Zeppelin. He'd played on dozens of recordings, nobody connected to him. Jones was the best-kept secret in British rock before anyone knew his name. Tom Petty in 1979. Damn the Torpedoes was about to come out, and nobody at the label believed in it. Petty had to fight to release it. FM radio in those years, you'd hear Refugee come on and the whole room changed. That song deserved every second of airtime it ever got. Radio used to do that. Used to matter like that. Styx sold out arenas for a decade and almost never got the critical respect they earned. The press filed them under corporate rock and moved on. The fans never did. Kiss in 1974 had been turned down by every major label. Every one. They were financing their own shows, printing their own flyers, building their own audience, city by city, before anyone in the industry paid attention. 4 guys who refused to be told no. I'll go on record. That kind of stubbornness is exactly what rock and roll is supposed to look like. Where do you stand? The Guess Who wrote American Woman in 1970 as a Canadian band's commentary on the United States. American radio played it constantly, without anyone at the stations knowing that. I love that. Journey in 1977 was a progressive rock band that almost nobody had heard of. 3 years later, with Steve Perry singing, they were one of the biggest acts in the country. One voice changed everything. The Scorpions drove across from Germany with almost nothing. A van, equipment, and a belief that American audiences would get it. Most European bands who tried that in the 70s didn't survive the first 2 tours. The Scorpions kept coming back every year until the audiences got big enough to matter. Wind of Change was still 6 years away. They waited. Jimmy Page playing New York, 1970. Led Zeppelin II had gone to #1 the year before. Page was 26 years old and already playing guitar at a level nobody had heard in a live context. I never got to see Led Zeppelin. By the time I understood what I'd missed, it was already over. Some things you don't get a second chance at. Don't make that mistake with whoever you love right now. Every one of these people showed up and played like it was the only thing that mattered. Because for them, it was. Was there a band you saw live that you still think about? The show that never left you. Tell me which one. I always want to know.